Hey guys, it's Victoria here. Happy Sunday. It's October the 24th. And today I am going to review gold. Now, I don't trade gold that much at all. I think I'll probably changed it maybe 2 or 3 times this year. It's not any, I don't really like it because it kind of takes long, right? After you trade US 30, you're kind of spoiled because US 30 moves, right? So that's really the indice that I prefer. So for those gold diggers, here's my view on if I were to trade this, what you would look for and, things you want to practice, right? So you can get used to seeing the pattern, which is literally the most important thing. That you need to start getting used to, right? Especially if you're going to be trading this strategy. So right now, this is what we would consider the the bear cycle, right? You have your M, A, and your W, right? So we all know that the cycle is typically 3 days, right? 3 ADR, okay? 3 pushes, okay, to complete a cycle, or the intraday cycle, right? 3 pushes up or down. So everything happens in threes. Now, that being said, it doesn't necessarily mean 3 days exactly, right? So the cycle, this cycle here that you see could take sometimes 5-7 days before it actually reverses. But within that 5-7 days, you are actually going to get 3 ADRs. Okay, you're gonna see 3 levels of consolidation, or I wouldn't say 3 levels, those 2 levels of consolidations that you typically see, and then often the telltale signs where you're going to notice that the trend is going to start to change is when you start to see these multi-session M's and then multi-session W's. Now this one actually happened within the day, right? This looks like a W to me, right? So what you want to start getting used to is seeing these patterns, right? Being able to identify them. I'm not going to say this is easy to do, right? It's not. There's a lot of people that count the levels using EMAs. Some people use the Asian boxes, right? And some people use the ADR, right? For me, I like the ADR. It already prints on this chart because I have this GCash dash on here, which helps me to quickly analyze the markets and which pairs I'm going to look at for the day. Okay. So right now I'm on H4 and I come here and it's the only one that I have the harmonics on here just to see. I'm getting used to just seeing the harmonics now. I used to never look at these, but I felt that it was something important to add to the H4 to get your overall view of the trend. So let me finish. So we have your MAAW, and then we have your W. We have some consolidation, and we have your V, V, M, and then the cycle starts all over again. Again, this is usually 3 days, sometimes 5, but we're really looking for it to have 3 levels, okay? And these 3 levels could be the Asian box stacking, the EMAs, the ADRs. For me, I think it's the ADRs are most important, okay? So let's take a look at this. I mean, I'm not perfect at this either. It's always something that I'm always practicing to see it, right? Just off top, I drew these support and resistance here, as you can see. I've added this about a week or so ago, right? And I just forgot about it because, again, it's not really something that I trade. So today I went and added the resistance here because of the 800 is right here. So I added this here to kind of see what was going to happen this week. Okay, so if I was to trade this pair, right? So let me clear this again. And let's just, have fun. This is my take on what I think is happening here with this pattern. So there's that multi-session. Then this one looks pretty clear in terms of the pushes, right? You got 1, 2, and then 3. Then we have our W here, okay? Now this one doesn't look like it gave us 3, but sometimes they can hide that third push in these long bars, right? Sometimes they can do that. And you see how it reset right there at the 800. Now, whenever prices come to the 200, 800, even the 50 in some cases. The main one is really the 200, right, on the 1 hour chart. Right now I'm on H4, right? So I just use this as just like a big overview, but typically on the 200, guys, when prices come there, just be flexible, right? Sometimes it's going to do what you think it's going to do, and then sometimes it's not. So you always trade what price is doing, not what you think it's doing, right? But just know that it could actually just reject off of that and continue on up, because that's what we were expecting with this W, right? We're expecting it to go ahead and do the V, and then M, but it didn't, right? So we had a reset here, and we got the M, and then this is a nice clear 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we have our W here again. And here it's kind of mixed up in here, but I guarantee these pushes are in here. You can also look at the lower time frames, sometimes the 5 minute, maybe the 1 minute, but usually the 5 minute you can see those pushes clearly. If you can see the pattern on the 30 minute, I think it's just really what you can see and identify. Okay, so I'm just going to count this 2 and then 3. And then here we have the M, and it pulled off the 50. So now here we go again. All right, this looks like the A, and then this here's the W, right? So that cycle is complete. So now we're expecting this thing to go up, right? We're expecting it to go up. Now, when it does this whole lot of nothing of consolidation, it does really make it hard, right? But I'm just going to count that as the V, right? And I'm going to count this here as the other V. And then I'm going to expect an M up here somewhere, because this is right at the third ADR. And like I said, that's one of the most important things for me, right? It's the pattern and, oh, the market timing. What time did you show up at the chart, right? Because I'm going to show you basically what time, if I was to trade this when I show up, right? What's available for me to trade, if anything. So let me clear this and go ahead and go to H1. I went ahead and wrote some stuff here just to kind of speed this thing up a little bit. Okay. TDI is also important, guys. So just, it's another area of confluence. Okay. Go ahead and hide this. Okay, so now we're looking at H1. Usually you want to start from Monday. You want to look a week back, right? So this is Monday to Monday. So just basically Monday to Friday. So the last 2 weeks is usually kind of what you want to look at. But I'm going to skip forward a little bit, all right? Because that Monday was nothing really happening here. As if you see, if you came to the chart, for example, when I show up, it is 1300, right? So none of this has happened yet, but I had already drew my support and resistance, right? So if I come here and I see this, and I'm like, I ain't nothing really going on. So I may take a peek at it the next day or throughout the day, and then come back the next day and see where it's at, right? So then here's Tuesday, 1300. Now, I don't know when you show up, right? I don't know when you show up to the charts. If you want to scalp this pair and go down to the 5 minutes, you could probably do that, right? But I'm just going to do this review based off of the H1, right? So far right now, what's happened, right? Prices have come down here and hit the 1 hour support. And then, of course, prices have been consolidating at the H4 support, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and start my count, right? I'm going to go ahead and start my 1, 2, 3 count from right here. Okay. And then here's the second tap to the low. Okay, right there. Again, if you were to trade this, you could have taken that. You could have taken this entry right above the 50 and the 200. You have all the support right here to take this trade right here. This is a nice trade, right? And this is right before New York. Yep, this is right before New York. So this is a good trade to take. Okay, now check this out. So the next day comes. Okay, next day comes. Come take a peek at it. So when I show up, right? And what do I notice? I'm noticing already that price, look at what it's done. It's drawing the W. Okay. So when I get here, it is right at that leg. So I'm here, right? I show up here and I'm like, oh, wow, this is a W. Like if this isn't a W, oh my gosh. And you can even see it down here where price has bounced off of the market baseline, right? And it happened in Asia. This is a good Asia, what do you call it? Asia bounce or whatnot is what you can call it, right? So let's say I took this trade from right here. My stop loss would have been, let me get the mouse. So if I've entered this trade right here, my stop loss, I would give it room, right? It's either going to be this one right here or this one, right? This would probably be the safest one because I've seen gold do some crazy stop hunts, right? And look what happened that same day. Did a crazy stop hunt right there, right? I just made that big. Let me clear this. Go back to that day. Look at that crazy stop hunt that it did, right? It hit the 200 twice. It hit the 1 hour support, right? It didn't tap the 4 hour support, right? So we know we're good to go, right? Don't be scared, okay? So when this happened, I could have entered right here and still would have been safe, right? My exit would have been right here because I already marked that area of resistance from the 4 hours. So that would be my exit. And that is the trade for the day, right? Done. You're done, right? If I entered from here, that's the trade. So then you just wait. Now we're at the high now. So the next thing to do is we're just waiting, right? We're just waiting for the next move, which would be obviously going short, right? So 1, see 2 and 3 here, right? When it starts doing all that consolidating there, I just kind of wait. I'm not really sure what price is going to do, but I've had a video. I know I did a video on like using the TDI as your crystal ball, right? So if I came to the chart here on Thursday, where's 1300? Right there. Okay. And I see this. I see that the TDI is at the extreme right here. Look at that, overbought. All the way up here at the 70. That is a telltale sign that this thing, that you're looking to go short. And all you got to do is just be patient with it, right? And then here we have the cross, right? This is the cross, okay? I am not, with this particular pair, I mean, if you want to sit here and hold this thing, that's on you, right? But I would totally wait for this. But you know, this is giving you an idea that this thing is going to be down the next day. This is your crystal ball. So you're going to be down the next day. You see the RSIs, the red is the trade signal. The green is just the RSI. They're both RSI. One is fast, one is slow. And then the yellow is the market baseline. So once they cross, guys, telltale sign that the next day you are looking to go short. And look what happened, right? Right here, if you were available for this trade, okay? It's really funny because I am sort of kind of available for this at 8, right? But this is in the evening for me, okay? So I'm not usually trading around this time. You just got to have, unless this is the time that you choose or whatever, wherever time zone that you're in, whatever works with your lifestyle and whatever balance that you have in your life with trading and just living, right? You can't sit here at the charts all the time. But if this is the time that you show up, then this was a beautiful entry for you, okay? It's absolutely beautiful. So your entry would have been right there, okay? Right there. And you could have taken profit at the 50 or the 800 or the Mayo, right? The 200, okay? Which is perfectly fine because when you look at the TDI, see how prices are still down here. So again, if I were to trade this, I'm coming into the market right here, 1300. And the moment I see that it's already under the 50, I can take this trade from here and I will totally exit from right here at the 200. That's 139 pips right there. And that trade is done. Okay. So we know that we're looking to go long because look at this, you know, we still have all of our support here that is building up here for the next trade, right? So if you're into the whole scalping thing, you could have came here. If I was into the scalping thing and I really wanted to trade this thing, right? You know, I'll come here at 1300 and I will see that prices has hit this thing multiple times down here. Okay. And then I would have gotten my signal, this B signal here, and I would have taken that trade. And I would have only taken it to the 200, to the Mayo, and that's the trade for the day, and I'm done. Okay. I'm totally done. 58 pips. Can't be mad. Okay. So next day, beautiful second leg entry for those who are available for this, right? Beautiful. Okay, so, but I'm not available for that trade. But if you are, you take this second leg with your eyes closed. I mean, this is gangbusters, right? Always look left to see what happened that previous day, right? You got all this support right there. Okay, this thing ain't going nowhere but up. So right here, you could have used this previous, what do you call this, pivot or swing point as your target, or you could have used a number of pips for your target. Okay, if you're coming to this chart on, what day is this? That's a Tuesday. So you come in here and this is one of those beautiful patterns. This is the London pattern number 2. So with the London number 2 pattern, this is the stop hunt high, right? That came out of Asia, stop hunt high. You can draw your little box there. I went ahead and drew the box, and you're waiting for the three taps, 3, 4 taps. I count this as 1, right? And then 2, 3, and then boom, that is your entry, right? Right before New York for the reversal. So if I was to take this trade, London 2, 3 taps to the high, the trade, I'm executing it from there right to the Mayo, 91 pips. Second leg M, guys. So now I'm out of that trade. Okay, I'm out, I'm done. Okay, so the next day, for those who are available for this, and look what we have here again. Check this out. See that pattern right there. Again, that is your entry, second leg. Okay. Isn't this great? Right? So you start training your eyes to see these patterns, right? And if this thing has been, like I said, this thing has been moving beautifully, you know, in the Asia time frame, right? Just beautiful. So for those who can trade this during that time, that's what you want to look for. You want to look left, look for your 3 taps, look for where your support is, where your resistance is. Is there a pattern there that's been building? What is the TDI telling you, right? So look at this here again. I didn't even mention this. So we have this W here, and look at this beautiful bounce. Once again, that's an ugly W. Another bounce right here on the 50. This is also the 50 line here. The 50, the market baseline they often call it the liquid 50. I've heard it been called that before. But you have this bounce off of that. And now you have the RSI above the market baseline. So you're good to go long, okay? You're totally good. Then you get out of that trade and be done. Then you just wait for the next setup, okay? So I hope this is helpful. I encourage you guys to, and also, this looks like half a Batman pattern to me, right? What you want to do is take you know, screenshots, create flashcards. You have an arsenal of how these patterns are developing so you can get used to seeing them in real time, right? Because that's what it's all about. Because when I come to the charts, I can't see anything else, right? So if I came to the chart on Friday, 1300, like this hasn't happened yet. All I see is what happened already here. And I see this W and I see that we're going long. And I'm like, okay, we're about to break this thing. Like it was already here as resistance. Now we're about to turn this into support. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for, right? Before I enter this trade, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking at this TDI. I'm like, okay, these prices are the RSI lines. I also call them price, right? are above the market baseline, right? Everything is looking really good here for me to take this entry here without any problem, okay? So if you guys enjoyed this video, comment, like, share. Let me know if there's a pair or indice or metal that you want me to take a look at. And trade strong, guys. Be prepared. Write your plan and trade the plan. Get your flashcards, put them in front of you so that you can see that it's happening again. It's deja vu all over again, right? That's what this is doing. So be prepared. And I hope you have a great trade week. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks.